So, hi, how are you?
Hey Lauren, I'm good.
Good. So, just introduce yourself a little bit.
Okay, my name is Dawn Boone and I own, along with my husband, Pine Island Brook Farm over here in Loudon, New Hampshire.
So, how long have you been working with horses?
Pretty much, I have been working with horses for about 30 years. I started begging my parents for a horse probably when I was 8 to 10 years old. Didn't get any success until I was probably 13. I think I got my first horse, so yeah.
What first got you interested?
I think I was born with the passion for horses. Actually, I think God gave me the gift and am very blessed to be able to use that gift.
What major benefits psychologically and physically do you think are related with working with horses?
Okay. Physically, working with horses, number one, it's great exercise because not only do you ride the horse, you also have to care for the horse. So you've got lugging water buckets, you've got pushing wheelbarrows, you have throwing hay bales, and every summer, I think with the amount of horses we have, we're almost up to 2,000 bales of hay that you have to throw up into the barn. So that's physically. Psychologically, well, when working with horses, you've got to be humble is one thing. Horses have, and not all horses, but some horses really tune into your emotions, what you're feeling. So you have to control those if you want to reach the goals or the certain goals you want to achieve with a horse. So,
What benefits have you received personally from working with horses?
well, there are a lot of benefits with working with horses. One, when you've set a goal and you've achieved that goal with a horse, you get a lot of satisfaction. You're to be able to take a 1,000-pound animal and ask that animal to do something is pretty remarkable, because you build a bond and they've got to want to be with you and do what you want to do. So when you accomplish something like that, it's very, very satisfying.
What groups of people do you think benefit the most from horses?
There's so many groups that benefit, but I would have to say one of the biggest groups is your special needs kids, your autistic kids. You take a child that isn't speaking, and you go to these programs that are set aside for these children to be able to touch and ride these horses. Sometimes after a couple sessions, these kids will start talking.
What challenges have you faced with working with horses and how have you overcome them?
Okay, so with the years that we've been breeding and raising horses, so some of the foals that are born here do give you quite a few challenges, and you've got to figure out ways to overcome them. You have a foal that just doesn't want to be handled or touched. You gotta come up with ideas to desensitize them and touch them and make it safe, because these are big animals. And if it's not something that you're comfortable doing, really recommend finding a professional, a trainer, to help you out with the job.
Do you think horses can sense a person's disability or mental trauma?
Definitely, there are horses that can sense that, and those are the horses that you find in these programs. They actually know when a person has a disability, and they'll actually babysit them. If they have a balance issue, they tend to slow down, and if that person does end up losing their balance, you'll see that horse actually stop. So, yes, definitely I do.
How do you think that horses have helped your children grow up?
Okay, well, number one is horses are a big responsibility. It's basically 24/7. They depend on your total care. So you got to be there, you've got to feed them, you've got to water them, you have to exercise them, you have to clean them. So I think that is the best thing for kids to learn. Then they take that as they grow older, and that helps them out in their future and in their families and work ethics, and it's a great thing.
Do you believe that the care for horses requires skill development, in that children who lack self-confidence learn to be leaders and recognize tasks to be completed well?
Yes, to an extent. I think that they definitely have to have the interest in the horses, or they have to have the passion for the horses, because if that's not there, it's more like a chore, and it could actually push them away. But yes, I think it is a great opportunity, learning a whole bunch of things: discipline and responsibility and goal setting, working with these amazing creatures.
So, Winston Churchill said, "The outside of a horse is good for the inside of a man." Can you briefly explain what you think that means?
Okay, so I think I touched up a little on this on one of the previous questions, but to take a horse, which can range from 1,000 pounds to a ton, and be able to build a partnership with that horse, a bond with that horse, and be able to ask that horse to accept you onto their back, and then have that horse do obstacles with you, and jump that horse, race that horse. It's a beautiful feeling when they accept you. So